I know it's been a while. I know it's been a minute. And I know it's early. So, but I've been thinking about this for about 3 days, and I thought I'd come in and share it. So I'm gonna just wait a few seconds and see what happened. And there's nothing mind-blowing or mind-altering or anything like that. But I thought that I wanted to share and talk to y'all today. Hey, and I know I've been off my game in this room on this podcast. It's just been, oh my God, there's been so much horrible stuff happening. Death, murders of children, young people, should I say, in my circle. It's just been a lot. I had to come and check on my mom. Stuff going on, trying to get my family members, or a family member, should I say, situated. It just was a lot. So, I know they say as women, we're supposed to be able to do it all. I can't do all this. I need a breather and God at the same time. And so I had to, if I don't take care of me, who's going to take care of me? But I just wanted to come in and say, first of all, good morning to you. Good Saturday morning. God bless you. I hope you have a wonderful day. But check this out. So all of this stuff I've been watching on the social media and on the media, on TV, news stations, all of that, and all the MAGA people are calling for unleash or release. I'm gonna say release because they just different ways they've been pronouncing it or questioning. Release the Epstein files, and now they're trying to pass it off as some big hoax or something, that he didn't keep a little black book, or he didn't keep any records of all the pedophiles that visited his little island, and how Trump is trying to resist getting this done, and how MAGA is pissed off because he's not getting it done. But the bottom line is this, to me, right now. I don't give no flying leap who on this list. If they on that list, we need to know. I'm not even a MAGA person, but you understand what I'm saying. The American people need to know what's on that list. And if they fighting so hard to keep this list and this little black book and all of this stuff out of public knowledge, I can only conclude one thing. Because Donald Trump and Epstein were the best of friends. There is massive amounts of footage with him and Epstein palling around, young girls sitting around on their laps, all that kind of mess. It just seemed undignified and ungodly. And I am going to say this, and I don't care. I think Trump is on that list. I think the reason Epstein invited some of the most richest and the most powerful people to this island, famous, all of that, is because he kept a tab. And I don't know if Trump got his hands on some of it, and that's why they act like they do about him, because he know, per se, as the saying go, where the bodies are buried, or where the pedophiles, or who the pedophiles are. And that may be a serious possibility, because there's no way he should have this kind of power and movement over any people, especially people sitting in places that's supposed to help the American people. But I believe he on that list. I believe he on that list, and I believe Epstein kept his name and kept probably some of the girls he slept with, a lot of the they probably took video footage. Just a whole lot was probably going on. And if he didn't do video footage back then, up until the time he got caught, I'm so sorry, y'all. Until the time he got caught, he most definitely, if not definitely, is on there by name in the book. Probably how many times he been there, because they say the man kept records. Now, he murdered himself. Now they're trying to say he didn't murder himself, but he murdered himself. He murdered himself because he just knew he was going to get like 1 million years in prison. There was no getting around that. And then nobody in this country or probably on this planet could have saved his life or saved him from whatever was getting ready to happen to him. And And so the man took his life because he couldn't bear the thought of him being locked up. But like one of the senators said on the floor, how dare we, or how could they protect these files and these records of people, rich and powerful and famous people, who have destroyed the lives of young girls and children. Because that's all they were children. Anything under 17 is children. I almost said something, y'all. Shoot. 21 and under is basically almost still children, depending on the level of cognitive ability that they have. But anything under 18 is definitely what I call a child. And so, if you watch the different things that pop up on the media, excuse me, I'm sorry, I told y'all it was early, but this has been like on my mind for a minute. It is safe to say that Donald Trump is on there. And he has no qualms, and these people that follow him have no qualms with him liking little kids, liking little girls. I don't even know if they like little boys for all we know. But they like little girls for sure. And, you know, Trump just is blatantly open about how he feel about young girls. He just, because he has no fear. He has no fear of God. He has no fear of nothing. That's the second thing I want to say. I watched something where he did some kind of speech. I don't even know what it was for. I don't know what he was doing. I don't even really care. But he kept on talking about God, and thank you, God, and all this. And I said, listen, you can play in God's face if you want to. Because when I saw it, it was like a clip or something that passed over my television. And I was like, what is he doing right now? But I know this much. The Bible says, be not deceived. God is not mocked. I said, if he trying to convince his people that he has some godliness in him, that is impossible at this point. Now, I don't stand in the place where I can say that, you know, God can't redeem him, because we are all redeemable to the lowest of the low. But I think he was playing in God's face, and I think he crossed the line, should I say, you know, because that's dangerous. That's dangerous. You don't play with God. You don't invoke his name. You don't call his name in jest, in mockery, in deceit. None of that. And so that's the second thing. And I said, he got to be kidding me. Now, two more things, I think. The last one, I think I got to try to remember what it is. Like I said, it is kind of early, and I had it on my mind. Trump unveiled his hat, should I call it, because that's what it was. His little cap that he liked to wear around for a 2028 election. Now, I don't know if I missed something in my hiatus, but I saw somebody put up that I know for a fact that I know that he was pushing for a 2028 term. You got president can only serve 2 terms. But somebody put up the fact that he will be able to run again in 2028. I said, the devil is a whole lie. We're not doing that. We're not doing none of that. And all of these people we got in sitting around here that ain't doing nothing with their jobs that we elected them to do, or however they got in them jobs. We as a people in America, we need to vote them out. What we need is some young blood in there. And I said this like many, many, many years ago. My grandson actually said this to me in the car the other day, or in the house or something, in which I've started to believe that his intelligence level is gaining on him, even at a young age, because he just turned 18. That we need some young people in office. We need to take the time to go through our states, and the people that's throwing their hats in the ring, even if they don't have excuse me. Even if they don't have a lot of experience, give them a shot at learning the ropes and doing what needs to get done. Because all of these old fogies and old men and old this and old that, decrepit men, should I call them, in office, they just running this country in the ground. They raping it, more or less. They raping the system. They raping the ground. They raping Mother Earth, as they say. They raping the skies. with all of these firings from these people that control these planes and need to be in certain areas to be able to do the job of the keeping us safe in the air. They destroying tons of food when people all over this country and pretty much this world trying to figure out how to eat and put food on their table every day. Why would you burn that food? Why would you burn, I think they said 500,000 tons of food? Like, you just could just have a fire sale or just put it out or send it out throughout every state and let food organizations give it away for free. You so selfish and so depraved, depraved, that you willing to set it on fire than give it to the people. So that made no sense. There are food banks struggling all over the place. We had one in my church. And so that would have been awesome to spread out all over the place. And now with all of this flooding, all of these displaced people missing, people dead in Texas and stuff, these people got to start all over. Do you know what 500,000 tons of food would have been able to do for these people on a continuous basis? If they would have they built one of them facilities in 18 days to house them people that they were trying to deport and claim that are criminals and all that kind of stuff. If you could build something like that in 18 days, you can build one of them and refrigerate it and send them food down here to Texas. And all of these people, they have to rebuild their lives, start all over again. That is food that they should be able to go to that facility freely and be able to shop like it's a regular grocery store until 500,000 tons of food is gone. Because it's going to take that much for them to get on their feet. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. Now, they still not talking about all the hype in the news. You know how they do when stuff first happened. And then it just subside. But we still got people down here that they haven't even found. Oh, we still got people down here that have nowhere to go. We got people down here that are starting over from scratch because they lost everything. Family members, possessions, vehicles, you name it, it's gone. And then they still got to try to figure out how to eat and take care of themselves. FEMA, that girl over FEMA, I never said this probably about, I don't know, I might have, I don't know, y'all know I'm kind of extra. But I've never said this like that I can remember. I feel like I may have about a woman in my life, but that girl is like done as a rock. She don't understand that FEMA is the Federal Emergency and Medical Association. Their job in crisis like this in Texas is for them to come help people. And the girl didn't even know, the one that Trump put over FEMA, she didn't even know. She didn't know what it meant. She didn't know what it does. She has not activated it until it made news that FEMA was not here helping these people. 500,000 tons of food burned, and the people down here in Texas are still struggling. They still trying to look for their loved ones. We got people out here walking through mud, mountains of mud, trying to find their loved one. We got people who survived those floods, and they still don't know where their people at. Like, they don't know where their houses at. They don't know where their belongings at. When I tell you it's covered in a mudslide, it's like a whole mountain just melted down on top of some of these people from this water. And it's horrible. And it's disgraceful. And it's disgusting. And Trump came down here for 2 hours? Him and Melania for 2 hours to tour the devastation. Bull crap. Here's the other thing. Since I'm a Texan now. Governor Abbott is something else. So we got denied FEMA down here. I believe it was FEMA. When the floods first started. I'm not talking about when the babies got washed away at the summer camp and all that. I'm talking about when stuff really started coming apart. Even more detrimental than that. But then it was also reported that when LA, I believe it was LA, needed FEMA and they had to vote on this. I guess they had to, like, he voted against that another city, another state would not be able to receive FEMA for whatever had happened to that state. I believe it had to be the California, because that's where Trump sent the troops, trying to mind other people's business. And he didn't think that they warranted whatever happened down there. He didn't think they warranted FEMA help. Now, y'all know I've been off the grid for a minute, so y'all bear with me, and if, enlighten me and update me. But here it is, the turn of the coin, and we are in massive, massive, massive mess down here. And he need FEMA. Now, I appreciate them releasing some stuff to Texas, because like I said, these people down here, they need some help, and there are no two ways about that. Excuse me, I'm sorry. No two ways about it. And it just strikes me as duplicit. And I don't know, it's an ugly word I'm trying to find, but I guess I can't say it since I can't find it. But I hate to say it like this, but some of these white people got a lot of nerve. Like this white man, you gonna deny aid to other people, but now you find yourself needing aid like 2 weeks after he denied them aid. And I thought it was ironic because when they were talking about it, how he voted against it and wouldn't support the idea of FEMA going to help them people. And now I'm seriously, I clocked it a little bit. I was like, this is about 2 weeks in, and then all that water came. God can do what he want to do. This his planet. He came through here and he sent a whole lot of water. And I literally went to my car and the water was up to the top of my shoes around my ankles. I don't wear high tops. And so, that was a lot of water. And so I think the only thing that saved my area that I live in is we have a lot of drainage out here, because it's a lot of grassy land. I'll just stay way out, people. Let me just say it like that. I don't feel like describing all that. But just for the record, I think Donald Trump is a pedophile. Everybody in the country knows he's a pedophile, and I think he's on that list. And whatever he's on that list for, he may be on that list because Epstein and whomever else is other, Maxwell or whatever his name is, they kept detailed records of who came, who went, what they did, who they did with, how old she was, because then that gives them a record of their preference of what they like, and so on and so forth. And Trump is caught up in this mess. He's a sitting president. Now, granted, all of this other stuff he's been convicted of, that's just like almost like a hearsay thing in court. Because, the people that brought the charges and stuff against him, and the young women that were exposed to his disgusting behavior and suffered consequences behind that behavior, it's just, I wouldn't even call it consequences. I would say offense behind his disgusting behavior. It happened, and that's what's up. But this right here, this is black and white. And so MAGA, shockingly, and some Democrats, pretty much all of them, are calling for these records. Now, I don't know who has the records. I don't know if they trying to hide the records. I don't know if they trying to put the records in the vault or get them out the vault. I don't know what the heck that's going on. But I do think they need to be released. And I think if Donald Trump is on that list for any reason whatsoever, because it's not like he wasn't at the island. They got footage they've been showing. He was at the island. He need to be impeached immediately, and he needs to be deported. That's the last thing that I want to talk about. He got a lot of nerve with this deportation stuff. So the gall of it, the absolute mitigated gall of him deporting all these people. He got some kahunas on him. Y'all can't argue that. The absolutely unmitigated gall of Donald Trump deporting all of these people, when the whole time his wife and her papers for being in this country wasn't together. And so now some people are calling for her to be deported as well. Like, it's literally being done. I thought it was like some social media stunt. It's not. It's being hush hush because he said out loud in front of news, I'm not deporting my wife nowhere. But I think it's a media stunt along with some other stuff. She needs to go. If he can pull people off this street and we got babies out here selling whatever that stuff our other brown brothers and sisters sell, just how they do on them corners and on the highways, and they be everywhere down here. They be getting that money. They work as a team and they get that money. But now that the parents are gone, the children are out here, and it's a hard thing to see that they parents have been scooped up just randomly out of nowhere for no reason, and then taken somewhere else and put into some type of prison type facility. And now these babies is out here walking around on these corners trying to make this money, selling all of that fruit and whatever else they be out here selling. That is disgusting to me. Donald Trump is losing his mind. Nobody wants to admit it. They trying to say he had a cold or some stupid, I almost cuss, y'all pray for me, I'm serious. Trying to say he had a cold or something was mildly wrong with him or something. But he is starting to exhibit Alzheimer. And when you start to exhibit that means your mind go and it go quick. And all of the disgusting, inhumane things that he has done in this world, I don't think it's gonna be no drug that they probably can give him that's gonna help him to be able to sustain himself and his mind. He needs to go to prison, whether he got his mind or not. He needs to go to the electric chair, whatever we got, what is that? The death chair when they table when they strap you down and they did something. He needs to be gone. He's losing his faculties, and you can't run this country if you ain't got all your faculties. The man, if you watch him, he don't know where he at half the time, who he talking to half the time, what he's supposed to be talking about half the time, and we all know he likes to talk a lot of crazy all the time. But this right here, as they say, no, he out of his mind. And we have been dealing with it, God, since forever. But this right here is this is the hour. And so if you've been watching, they've been talking about it more and more and more about his cognitive abilities. JD Vance ain't a president. He ain't, that's why y'all don't never hear nothing from him. Y'all don't see him saying nothing. Y'all don't see him doing nothing. And whenever he do something, it's some kind of little fluffy thing they send him off to do just so they can distract us from whatever the hell Donald them doing over there on the other end of the room. And like he don't have any backbone. He don't have any chutzpah. He don't have no tenacity, no grit about him or nothing. And that's why Donald chose him, because he can punk him. He can punk him. But now if Donald fall out this race, they have to take him down, which I'm praying that God that they do, because I don't wish death on anybody. But I do wish that they find a way to get him up out of that seat. And I mean that with my whole heart. We are going to be stuck with JD Vance. And if JD Vance don't have the ability to stand up to the people that on Trump team that he's elected and put in all these different seats, they're going to swallow him whole, and we're going to be in worse shape that we're in right now. If y'all think it's getting ready to get bad, it's gonna be real bad. So they may have to hold a special election, then the country gets to redo the vote. We get to put some people in office that actually can run that seat and run this country, because nobody's gonna want JD Vance for a vice president. And it's just the truth. He may be I'm not gonna even let that fall out of my mouth. I'm gonna be lying if I say he a decent human being. He ain't no, I don't know. No, he not. I think it's just us against them at this point. As an American people, it's us against them. Now, whether they release these files or not, we already know what we're dealing with. Black people, we know what we're dealing with. Oh, I saw also too today in the media that Walmart, for those of just still shopping at that store, you need to focus. You need to focus. This boycott is not over. It's just gone dormant and quiet. Not dormant, but quiet. It's not in the hype no more. You know what I'm saying? And we need to find a way to rekindle the media of it. The social media of it and the TV media of it. But they're getting ready to do a 51% hike on all of their products because of these tariffs that stupid Trump had got put out here. Like, I ordered something from this company. What did I order? Oh, I ordered some legs for my little seating shelf in my bathroom. It looked like a little cabinet, but it needs some legs on it. And when I tell y'all know we women, we want what we want. So I ordered the legs because those are the only ones that I found that I just really, really wanted. Listen, by the time I got to checkout, I understood the tariffs a little more clearly. I just was like, should I really pay this money? Because it just jacked it up to twice the amount. And it just made no sense to me. But I was like, you know what, just pay for the stuff because there's no getting around these tariffs. I don't care what we say. So, yeah. That if Walmart started to go up on their stuff. Now, I'm not talking to the people that you have to shop at Walmart. I'm not talking to you. Because I understand that. I'm talking to the people that have to that are just shopping there because it's just we just lazy as hell and it just seems convenient to us. We just gonna go to Walmart and get it over with. Come on now. Target, Dollar General, all of that stuff. This is not a game, people. If they don't want to respect our color, they don't need to be able to have our black dollars. We can take our money and go give it to somebody else. Put somebody else on the map. They got all kind of companies springing up right now, and their prices are way more reasonable than this foolishness we're dealing with out here. I have this saying that if you cannot if you don't respect my existence, that I'm here, then you can expect my resistance. And I'm not playing. And that's the motto of the black people today. You don't respect my you don't respect my existence, then you should expect my resistance. Don't ask me for nothing. I'm not shopping at your store. I'm not doing nothing with you online. I don't got nothing to say to you. I take my black dollars and do something else. Hell, if it get that bad, I'll go pay somebody to build it and ship it to my house or bring it to my house. Because this whole thing is just upside down and wrong. Now, this is the last thing I want to say, and I'm getting off this thing because I think I've been on here about 10 minutes, maybe 12, and this is just a morning rant or so. I'm probably gonna go live on my regular page too. But here's the thing with that: if we don't stand for something, we'll fall for anything. I used to hear the old folks say that when I was coming up. If we don't stand for something, we're gonna fall for anything. And right now, we blinked. That's the best way to say that. We blinked. A lot of our black men, they blinked because they didn't want to do Kamala, but so they blinked. They think a man have to sit in that seat and run this country. Listen, we women been running a whole lot of stuff, even from behind the scenes, for a long, long time. And that's just the most ignorantest thing I ever seen in my life. And those same black men are being affected by a lot of this stuff that Trump is doing in office right now. White people, even the nice ones, they blinked. They put all their eggs in a basket with a man that they knew out the gate was a narcissist and a predator. And they still wanted to believe in this make America great again hype. America ain't never been great for nobody. Not even the white people who benefit from it. And you'll figure that one out on the drive home, as my bishop would say. But it was greater for them than it was for any other race in America. And that includes the Indians, to the Chinese, to the African American, and to whatever else landed in America. It was only better for them. And that's how they want this country set up. This isn't not about saving this country money, gutting all these programs. This is about white supremacy. And we as a people, especially a brown people, black people, beautiful people, royal people, regal people, adored people by God, the favorite of God, or at least definitely in the running. We need to be mindful and we need to be paying attention. I know everyday life be going and you don't think about this kind of stuff, but you need to start thinking. You got to start thinking, because these white people coming for something. If they deporting all these Mexicans up out of here, they got to have some kind of labor. And I'm telling you right now, they may not be saying it out loud, but they got to be talking about it somewhere behind a closed door. Not name one of my descendants. Not since my great-great-grandmother picked cotton, and my great-great-great-grandmother was a slave and picked cotton. Gonna be out there doing nothing for nobody. Not a tobacco field, not a rice field, not nothing. And as crazy as our young men are right now, killing each other and doing all this, we're gonna have to put them jokers to war, because it's gonna be a cold day somewhere in some place that black people gonna go back to being owned and property. It's insane to me how these people, are just like doing what they're doing, and they don't have a backup plan for this, what they're doing. These people that they deported, about 1,000, have been in this country. They said that the one lady reported that, I guess she had a scoop or something, or she heard it through the grapevine, because they speak their own language over there. Then ICE has a running competition as to how many people they can arrest and deport in a day. And one man said that they doing up to 1,000 people at least a day, and a lot of them down here in Texas, deporting these people. Like, they've been taxpayers. They came over here, maybe they got here and they didn't go through the front door. I don't care, because that's half of the people here didn't come through the front door in this country anyway, including us. But they here, and they taxpayers. They work. They, whatever. We're not talking about them cartel people. Oh, my God. Since we're talking about the cartel. Trump just let the whole family of the most notorious cartel person alive, his whole entire family has been given asylum to come into this country. I don't know if y'all know that, but they didn't want to talk about it. They've been trying to keep it on the hush hush, and it's almost like a sound bite. They dropped it in, talked about it a little bit, and then they went away. Anybody else said, no. Actually, so he deported Mexican people, talking about the cartel and the drugs that they bring into this country and all this and all that they be doing. I said, yet he let the most notorious cartel leader on the planet, his whole entire family, and I think they said there's like 8 of them people, probably more, I don't know, received a police guarded escort into asylum in this country. Now, I don't know what he gave Trump to give him that kind of, because he like money. He like shiny things. He's like a child. But it's some dirty dealings behind that. Now, they don't want to talk about it no more. Did y'all see the interview the other day when Trump was doing, and he was all that gold stuff I think that was the White House. I was like, is this the White House? And he'd put like gold stuff all in. Ooh, it just looked so disgusting and gaudy. I said, I'm going to look at it again, because I said, this got to be this man's house, because there's no way he went to the White House and did all of that. Then he had the nerve to have an African mask in the back. Y'all pray for me. I be noticing stuff, it just don't make no sense, but I was like, I just was so stunned, I kept looking at it. But back to the cartel. So you deporting these people, keep saying that they families and their family members and their kids, they even deporting the kids, just taking kids off the street. They just released a 15-year-old boy yesterday. Just a regular little boy, 15 years old. How he in the cartel? I'm not saying it can't be done, because we know in our hoods, we have had some kingpins, and they recruit and use everybody. They'll use the baby in the diaper. They don't care. So I'm not above or beneath the whole idea of that. But I am saying is, he was just a regular little boy. So, a lot of this thing, with this deportation about these people supposed to be drug dealers and all that, that's a bunch of BS too, because you're about to let the family of the most notorious cartel member on this planet into this country. He has sons and daughters and a wife, and so I'm pretty sure that ain't something you just let go, because you have a way to, they're accustomed to a certain lifestyle. That man got enough money, whether he under the prison, he gonna make sure his family good or whatever. but that don't mean that they gonna stay clean while they over here. And as far as all of that is concerned, I think that is just ridiculous. Now, Trump has been trying to backtrack on it because apparently his friends don't have anybody to clean their houses and wash their babies and cook their food. So now he want to backtrack on the whole immigration thing and telling ICE to take a break and all that kind of stuff. But I appreciate the fact that this country is fighting back against ICE, because now they starting to tow ICE cars. Like they showed this lady put a video up the other day. She was at a store. Well, and I guess ICE showed up and they tried to, I guess they went in to bully the Mexican patrons that was there. And when they showed up in her city, I need to watch that video again. When they showed up in her city, the tow truck showed up too. So when ICE come outside with the Mexicans that they harassing and illegally leaving, pulling out of this, they various places on wherever they at, they have nowhere to put them. They towing cars, vans, you name it. They towing it. I said, that's a good strategy. They're not going to do that down here in Texas. I wish they would, though. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can go to Home Depot now. And you know how you see the Mexicans out there and they go trying to get, work for the day. You don't see that. I've been hitting up Home Depots and everything. You name it, they've been doing it. And I said, how do you go home and look at your family in their face at night, your children, knowing that you did this? Like, you separated a person from their children, their wives, their families. Like, and you okay with that? Like, you okay with that? I don't get it. So, that's my rant for this morning. I know it's still early. And I'm pretty sure, people sleep and they ain't got time for this right here. But when I woke up, I just thought about it. I said, I need to talk about it. Oh, I'm so sorry. Excuse me. I need to talk about it before I forget it. And like I said, I'm going to go live on my regular page because, all of this needs to be discussed. And remember, my goal in all of this, especially with this podcast and YouTube channel that I have, is to be able to help our people govern themselves in the next 4 years. I don't think Trump gonna make it, y'all. I'm telling y'all. Over the next 4 years, and how to keep ourselves and us and our people safe through all of this. I mean, from mentally, spiritually, physically, monetarily, make sure we got roofs over our head, spending habits, food on the table, watching our kids, all of that. And yes, again, I do apologize. I have fallen off my game. I needed a hiatus, y'all. I'm telling y'all, because life just keep on lifing. And so I'm going to try to figure out how to get back on top of my game. So, sorry for all the yawning. It's early, and it's Saturday. Hope y'all have a good day, and God bless y'all.